I really like this new intro, so I might actually change it to, what I just said. Still thinking about it, but yeah, I don't know. It's just a thought in my mind. But yeah, welcome back to the fifth part of the Family Farmhouse speed build. Yeah, we're just getting closer and closer to completion of this build, like full completion. I mean, it's kind of completed, but what I mean, the videos aren't yet, so I still have to finish uploading this. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that we're getting close. And I'm very excited to finally start posting other builds, because obviously this isn't the only one. While I've been trying to put out parts of the speed build, I've been working on other builds, and yeah, I'm just very, very genuinely excited to post them and for you guys to see everything. But how's everyone doing? How's everyone holding up? I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's okay. Yeah. I mean, this is basically the first recording of the day. I'm planning to record actually 2 videos today. And I'm not gonna say what it is yet because I want to kind of keep it as a surprise. It's gonna be a special video. I've never done a video like that before, but I think it's actually gonna be really fun to record, and I hope that you guys are gonna enjoy it once it comes out. I have no clue when that's gonna be because that one will probably take some editing. Yeah, these just don't really take that much editing because basically I just have to record the voiceover, and yeah, that's it now. But, I mean, we're just a minute in, and right now I'm actually furnishing this TV room. This house has, like, 3 living rooms, but they're all, like, sort of different rooms. We have, like, it's not, okay, so the room that's right next to the staircase, it's not so formal, but then it's like a very informal living room that probably no one will ever use. And then we have an actual formal living room that has a TV. That's right next to the dining table. And then we have this room that I'm working on right now. That's like kind of a TV room. This is where you would watch the TV in the house. And I guess that's like I've said, it makes sense for a house like this because it's kind of big. And like in a family home, you would kind of want to have, separate rooms for different features. So like if you want to spend some family time together, you could do it in the great room. And then if you just wanted to watch TV, you could do it in this room. And what I really like about this room, though, is the custom carpet. It's very simple, but then it's not at the same time. It's different. I guess that's what I like about it. And I haven't really seen people do this with carpets, and I don't know, it somehow turned out to look pretty nice. And yeah, I just hope you guys like it. It will look much better once it's all painted. Right now it just looks sort of weird in a way. And I'm adding some changes I'm probably going to delete in a second because they didn't end up looking good. Typical me though. Honestly, with building, you can't just do everything nicely at once. Sometimes it takes, some minutes for you until you like play around and figure out what you want exactly. So if something doesn't work out immediately, don't be scared. Just try again until you like it, because not everyone gets it perfectly at first. I know I don't do that. I don't know other people who actually do either. So yeah, you just try until it works. But yeah, and then I kind of came up with this custom basket idea. I guess it's kind of cute, but then at the same time it's like weird. I personally like it. The one thing that really bugs me though is the fact that whenever you look inside of it, there's like mud or dirt because it's like a pot. But I kind of made it a basket. I don't know. It looks like a basket, but it really doesn't. So it's like it could be whatever you want it to be honest. So yeah. But yeah, I'm almost done with the furniture. I'm just gonna decorate the shelves and the coffee table, and then we'll be mostly done with decorations, and I'll have to color everything. What I like to do when I'm building is I like to, first of all, place all the objects, like place all the main pieces, then start decorating them, adding like books and whatever on coffee tables, filling in all the shelves, and then I color everything. And I don't know, this method kind of works for me. I've been doing it for like as long as I can remember, and I don't remember ever having like actual issues with it. So I don't know if anyone's like struggling, and I guess I recommend this method to you, though it takes some time to get used to, getting used to. But yeah, because like from what I know, some people even do wall trimming at once, and then they move on to furnishing the house, which I don't know. To me, that sounds sort of boring in a way. I don't know. I just prefer to do everything. Like, I just prefer to go room after room, and yeah, that's literally as simple as it can possibly get. I hope I did a good job explaining it. I tried to like think of the topics I could talk about today, so that way the voiceover isn't boring and I don't seem like a mess, because I kind of did seem like one yesterday, not gonna lie. You see, that's what nighttime does to me. Like, I don't know, I can't control it. Like, whenever I record a voiceover at night, it just never turns out good. Never. It's always, yeah, like, it's always a disaster, or close to one. So, I'm sorry for the mess that I was the last voiceover, but I think I'm fine now. I hope it'll stay this way. I started making my voiceovers a bit longer, though, because, I just kind of need to do that. Well, like, this house basically had, like, over, I don't remember exactly, but, like, around the 400 clips. And for me, that's a lot, because if you guys remember the Hamptons mansion, that was 6 parts, and it ended up having, like, 330 clips or so, and this has 400. And so, you can kind of tell the difference. So this is just, like, this house, even though it's smaller than the Hamptons mansion, it's much more detailed, since literally every single part of it's custom, which is a good thing, but at the same time, it's, like, very bad, because it took me way too long. I don't know, from what I know, houses in Bloxburg shouldn't take that long to build, but then at the same time, like, it always pays off, for me at least, so I just don't really mind taking a while on the build. But, everyone's different. Honestly, I would never judge you if you said that you gave up on a house like this, because, like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but most of the time it's usually worth it, so I just choose to not give up. But yeah, I'm painting the sectional and everything. Oh, also, one thing that kind of came up now, since we got the basic shapes update, when I built this house, we didn't have basic shapes yet, so I used beams and structural items to make the couch. But now you can actually just use basic shapes to, I don't know, make your headboard, nice and everything. Not the headboard, what did I just say? You can just make the couch, because, like, you can use ottomans for the seating part, but then, the couch frame in general, like, it can all be made out of basic shapes, which is also more realistic to real life, since, I don't know, I hope you guys know what a sectional is. A sectional is basically it's a big couch. Actually, I'm not entirely sure, but, like, I've heard multiple people call it that, and so I'm just, let me just quickly look it up. Sectional meaning. Alright, let's see. So I was sort of right, because sectional couches are basically, made out of, like, different parts, so that you could split it up and then reuse the couch as chairs. Obviously, people just use it as a couch most of the time, and that's exactly what I did in this space. Yeah, so they're usually very big. They're bigger, right? Because there's, like, multiple parts, and you can, like, it makes sense that it's bigger. And I don't know if many people actually know why that is, but usually sectionals are made out of, like, different parts, so that you could actually, like, move it around, split it up, or, like, when you move or something, or when you want to, like, I don't know, possibly move your couch into a different space, a different room, or maybe when you're moving in and you need to somehow, fit that whole couch through the door. You can't really fit the whole couch. That's why you gotta split it up, and then you bring it in piece by piece into the space that you want to have it in, and then later you put it all together. And I guess that's, like, why sectionals are so good, because you can, like, basically put them together, and, like, they basically kind of fit most of the time, if that makes any sense. I hope I'm making sense here, and I hope I did a good job of explaining it. Well, like, at least what sectionals are. Sectional couches. And yeah, I used that one, and right now I'm actually working on the pantry. So this pantry was interesting, to say the least. I'm not that huge of a fan of it, because it's a bit small. I didn't expect it to be that way at all, but, I just kind of started putting in all the shelves, and it just happened. And I tried working with it, and I mean, I'm kind of okay. Like, I'm not too happy with the final outcome, but I guess this is the best I could have done, actually. And so I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, I don't know, this build is just, it's getting a bit outdated now that I look back on it, because we have the basic shapes and everything, and like I've just said, you can kind of make did I even end off with the sectionals? Because I think I kind of drifted off from my point. So what I was trying to say is that with sectionals, you can actually, like, once you use basic shapes, you can kind of make it more realistic, because it's like you make it out of parts and it's easier to move the thing. And yeah, that's what I wanted to make, is that like it's more realistic with basic shapes, because you get to move it around your house and everything, because it's like made out of parts and everything. So I hope that made some sense, and if it didn't, I'm sorry. We both know that I'm not the best at explaining in this channel, so, but I mean, welcome. Welcome if you're new. Yeah, but the people who have been here for a while know that, at least I hope they do. But yeah, we're already 11 minutes in, you see? It's actually kind of, I don't know, sometimes it gets so hard for me to record voiceovers because I literally don't know anything, or like, I don't know what to talk about, but yeah, it's not the case here. I'm really happy about that. But yeah, I'm just slowly but surely making progress on this house. And yeah, in this part, I'll be basically finishing the whole first floor. Probably mentioned that before. But yeah, we're probably gonna left off on like the garage, and it'll be like most of it will be done anyway. So I'll finish it in the next part, but the rest of it will be done in this episode. The rest of the first floor, I mean. Anywho, though, I don't know. Recently, I've been kind of into, like, I've been looking into architecture a lot. I know that, like, Bloxburg is kind of, like, what I'm doing is kind of based around architecture and everything. So, but I never actually kind of, like, I don't know, started to, you know, just, I was never, like, too curious about, like, actual architecture in real life, and I started kind of, like, just doing a lot of research or, like, watching lots of videos on architecture. It's actually pretty cool. There's lots of buildings. I'm particularly like very interested in skyscraper architecture. I find it very fascinating actually, because it's like they're so big, and I don't know if any of you actually knew, but the buildings themselves sway so that they wouldn't fall apart, because that's like very normal for tall buildings. I've known this for a while, but it's actually like very fascinating as to how that whole thing is achieved, like how they sway to not fall on everything, or how they sway to survive earthquakes, because yeah, it's very typical for a skyscraper to sway in real life, and I find that really cool. And like I'm gonna drift apart from the topic a bit right now, because I'm gonna talk about the pantry and how long it took me to fill it up. Oh my god, I remember spending like at least 2 hours getting all the food out and then placing it in the pantry. So I really hope you guys appreciate this. I tried to organize it too, but it looked really good in the end. I mean, the whole organizing part, I really liked it. Like, it's so satisfying when things are organized. I don't know, to me at least they are, and it's just the best. But yeah, it took me like, it doesn't seem that long in the speed build, but it genuinely was so long and so tiring. I was so over this organizing thing. I just wanted it to be over, honestly. And I tried to put in appliances that I couldn't in the kitchen, so now that's why you can find kettles and like blenders in the pantry, because I couldn't put them in the kitchen. So at least you still have the appliances, they're just not in the kitchen. Anywho, though, I'm almost done placing all the appliances and everything in the pantry itself. I'm just probably gonna end off the whole organizing part with fruit and vegetables, I guess. Vegetables. I like sometimes have such a hard time pronouncing different words. It's so bad. It's low-key funny, but then it's kind of bad at the same time. So it's okay though. I guess not all of us are born to be good at English, you know. That's clearly me. But anywho, I guess I could continue talking about architecture. I don't know. There's a lot of different buildings that there's like a lot of controversy around. I mean, I don't know, like the only things I'm kind of like actually like really into is like interior design, architecture, cars, all that. But yeah, architecture is like something I'm into, and I'm like slowly just, I don't know, trying to learn and about it, and like, I don't know, just get some inspiration for my other builds while I'm learning. And I am taking a few architecture classes in my school right now, since I do go to like a special school. We have an ability to pick architecture classes, and so I picked 2, and so I have 2 classes every 2 weeks, and then I have another one that's like, I don't know, it's like a very professional one. Since I am still in high school, we actually have like a class that's well, basically the teacher of the class is like a professor, so it's more professional, and like, you know, we actually get to learn stuff that you would learn in the university, and I find it very fun and very cool, but still very, well, not very scary, but it's not scary, it's just I'm very scared that, you know, the professor wouldn't like the things that I do for the class or like my assignments, and I would get bad grades, so I'm just like kind of scared of that, but I really enjoy the class besides that. But yeah, so I'm taking those two architecture classes, and for the other architecture class that's not, you know, taught by the professor, I have another one that's like a less professional one. So we're supposed to design a container home in that one, and I may or may not have actually used Bloxburg for it. Some people may find it cool, but like I'm still kind of scared of what my teacher will have to say. I mean, he wouldn't know that it's in Roblox. And I tried to make it look as professional as possible, that way he wouldn't think of it as like a game. It's already done, the whole project's done. I felt a lot like I was modeling, like 3D modeling, so I guess that's cool in a way. I thought about making a video on it, but the house itself isn't really functional Bloxburg. It's more like just for looks in real life. Like, it would be functional in real life, but it's not necessarily functional Bloxburg, because I did use certain furniture items, like tables for chairs, and stuff, so it's not a functional Bloxburg. So I might like post about it on Twitter or something as like a quick build or something for school, because I have done that before. So I don't know, keep an eye out. I may or may not post it. And about the sneak peek, I know that a lot of you are probably like wondering where the sneak peek is that I promised like 3 weeks ago, and it's still not there. So the thing is, basically I want to post a sneak peek of all 4 builds, like of them looking completed-ish. And so basically 3 of them are kind of like at that stage right now, but one. So whenever I finish that one build, I'll post like a sneak peek of all 4 of them. Of all the ones that I mentioned before. But I need to get back to architecture, because I keep on drifting apart from that topic. But yeah, so there's this building in New York that's a very skinny skyscraper. There's a lot of controversy around it because a lot of people hate it. And it's called, if I'm correct, it's like 442 Park Lane. Let me actually look it up if I'm correct. Oh, Park Avenue. Sorry, my bad. So it's this huge, like, it's not huge. It's very tiny. It's very skinny, and it's very tall. And it's like an apartment building, an apartment condo building. Wait, a condo building. I can never tell apart condos from apartments, because where I live, people just call flats and condos apartments. And so, like, in my head, it's an apartment, but then for most people in the US and in other countries, apartments are like places that you rent out, and the condos are the ones that you own. So basically 442 Park Avenue is on a condo building. So you're supposed to own those condos, and they cost millions. And it's located right next to Central Park in New York. So it's in Billionaires Row, if I'm correct. Billionaires Row is like a brand new neighborhood that has lots of new skyscrapers, and you can tell they all cost billions. And the apartments in them happen to cost millions as well. But anywho, a little bit about the 442 Park Avenue more is it's hated for its very basic looking facade. It's nothing too like crazy. All it is, it's basically a huge box that has even smaller boxes inside of it that are like windows. If you actually look it up on Google, you'd find a picture of it. And I'm pretty sure that most of you know what it looks like. It's a very controversial, like, again, I'm repeating myself, it's a very controversial skyscraper in New York, so you've probably heard of it, and you've probably seen it multiple times. But when it was first built, apparently it had a lot of issues. So there were lots of electrical issues, plumbing issues, apartments were getting flooded inside, and I don't really know that much about it. I'm literally telling you all the information I've heard from TikTok, so maybe I'm not the best source to talk about this. But I still find it very interesting, and I thought I might share, because why not? And so, yeah, that skyscraper, it had a lot of issues, and people started to hate on it. And like at this point, there's so many people hating on it, like on every single app, TikTok, Reddit. Honestly, the architecture fanatic side on TikTok is so fun. I love it there. I can, yeah, I'm slowly, my TikTok's slowly going there, and I'm not gonna complain. And also, the tower itself, well, the skyscraper, every like, hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Around like every 10 floors, it has 2 floors that are like kind of not used for, they're like more meant for ventilation so that wind could pass through the skyscraper. And that's like an engineering thing, obviously, so that the skyscraper wouldn't fall and that the wind could just fly through the skyscraper and then stabilize it in a way. Honestly, I'm not that, like, physics is not my strong side, but I am trying my best to learn it so that I could actually, you know, have a future with architecture. Because, yeah, whether you like it or not, I think that you still need physics for architecture. I mean, that's a known thing, so, yeah. And mathematics is something you need as well. So, if you really want to start building or, like, designing buildings, you need knowledge from those 2 subjects, which sucks, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. A bit more about the skyscraper is, as weird as it may sound, it's actually pretty normal for skyscrapers to have issues once they're built. Because there were multiple skyscrapers who had issues once they were just built, and most of the people, like most of the government and like companies would cover that up, but it's like it's a normal thing for skyscrapers to have a few issues once they are like first built, and then over time like those issues just kind of disappear. Which is very cool because I actually never knew that, but apparently it's a thing. So people were kind of hating on it, but like most skyscrapers are like that. But the funny thing is about the skyscraper itself is the architect who designed it also has created a few other questionable structures around the world. So there's this building in London that's called the Walkie-Talkie. And since it's built on an angle, or like the whole thing is on an angle, sometimes it can start melting cars or like burn people. And that's like, that was purely uncalculated. But like that's how the sun and the building work. Like sometimes, since the building's like on an angle, the sun sometimes just like shines on it or whatever sun does, you know what I mean? And then the building kind of reflects to it, and then it just kind of creates a very dangerous sun ray, I guess? Sun ray? That like starts melting cars or burns people. So it's actually pretty dangerous, but it's a known thing in London, and yeah, a lot of people don't necessarily like the building, but it's like, you can't really demolish a building now just because it does that, you know, just gotta be careful, because there's like multiple stories of people leaving their cars in front of that building, and then like they come back to their cars, which are completely melted. So like, you know, it's weird. And these are the only 2 structures that I know. Well, that's the other questionable structure that I know by the architect, but I know there's more. It's just, these are the main 2 that I remember, and I've always been kind of fascinated as to the fact how you can create a building that kind of starts like, you know, burning people in a way. It's weird. But I mean, I guess it was unintentional, so you can't really blame the architect. I mean, that guy's just unlucky. He's trying his best to design like a building that's nice and unique, and then they always end up doing something. Well, they always turn out not the way he wanted them to turn out, I guess, which sucks. But obviously, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But then there's also other buildings in New York and other places that are a bit weird. So apparently, okay, this is a pretty new thing in London. Apparently, the USA is like kind of building their new embassy there. And they spent around $1 million on it, and okay. So let me just quickly pull up a picture of it, because it's basically a glass cube. That's what it is. It's a glass cube, right? Yep, let me look at it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I don't know where it was open, but it's pretty new. And so they tried to make it look, I don't know, interesting with its shapes and everything. It has this like very weird texture to it. Not texture, but more like facade, like it looks unique, but it's basically a glass cube. And you know, when you really think of a glass cube, do you really think it would cost around $1 billion? I mean, it's kind of crazy to spend that much on a building, but you know, when you're like a country like the US, you would obviously probably wouldn't care. But it looks weird. To me, it's very weird. Personally, I don't know. I've heard other people talk about it. I kind of agree with them. It's like they were trying too hard to make people like it by doing like a very unique but then an ugly facade, and the facade is basically just the outside walls of a building. That's what it is. The facade is basically that, and it looks very weird. I recommend you look up the building on like the internet and like look at it yourself, and it's just like, I don't know, it does not look that nice. It's a glass cube, you know. Obviously they probably did it for protection as well, since it is an embassy. But like, yeah, it's just I don't know. It's cute, but it would need some more work, in my opinion. I would do a much different. I would go for like a much different approach, but you know, it's just me. And apparently, when was it built? It was built pretty recently, I want to say. Oh yeah, so it was opened 3 years ago. So yeah, it's been a while. Since it was open 3 years ago. Whoa, that's kind of a while. But still fairly recent. Fairly recent. Oh my god, I cannot talk. And okay, wait, let me actually take a look at the interior, because I feel like it would look, oh yeah. Oh, I definitely recommend you guys check this out. It's kind of interesting. Okay, I like the interior because it's kind of modern, and I love all like the sculptures on it and everything. Or like the wall art, I guess. That's what you can call it. It's pretty cool, pretty cool, not gonna lie. It has like a gallery. Oh, yeah, that's really it about it, to be honest. So I highly recommend you look it up on Google, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I hope that it clears up all the confusion that you might have. But my opinions on the American embassy, it feels like they were trying too hard. But it's in London, and it's like in a fairly good place, so yes. I mean, at this point now I'm thinking, how do even embassies work? Because, like, you can't have them in every single city. So, like, it's just very weird. I don't know. I never really understood how embassies work, so I might have to look into that. And what I'm thinking is, I think I should actually do some research before I actually start filming a voiceover that I could talk about architecture news or interior design news, and I feel like that would be a very fun topic for my voiceovers. I mean, we're already like 30 minutes into the voiceover, which is kind of crazy. I'm not feeling tired at all or anything, I guess because it's literally the middle of the day, but at the same time, you know, sometimes when I start running out of things to talk about. And I guess I'll answer a couple questions like I usually do before I go, and then I'll see you in the next voiceover, which will probably be later this week. But yeah, I saw that you guys started asking me a few like other questions on Twitter since you saw the last video. And first of all, thank you very much. And I'm gonna try answering them since I know that you guys enjoy hearing my answers, and my laptop's dead, so I'll have to use my phone. So that's completely fine. Let me just quickly open Twitter on my phone. There we are. And okay, let's see. Here's my pinned tweet. Alright, let's see. Okay. Oh, we have some questions from Josh. Okay, so he's asking me how he can become a guest on my voiceovers. So, with guests on my voiceovers, I'm still trying to figure it out. I really want to settle with YouTube again. Like, I want to get back on track, and then maybe I'll ask you guys to come on voiceovers. But most likely, I'll either reach out if I see that you're a very active follower, or I might just, I don't know, do like a giveaway or something. We'll see. Like, not a giveaway, but where I just pick one of you in the community tab or something. We'll see. Okay, he's asking me what, in my opinion, is the best British car. So, that's a hard one, because there's lots of good British cars, obviously, and I didn't mention that in a previous voiceover that I'm a huge fan of British cars. And it really depends for what kind of a car we're talking about, like what kind of a car type, because there's plenty. But I guess if we were to talk about luxury cars, I would say it would be a Bentley, like a Bentley Flying Spur or something, that's for luxury. I would say other people might say Range Rover, but obviously Range Rovers have lots of issues. And the other day on TikTok, I literally witnessed a Range Rover burning down. Apparently, the backstory on how it happened is like it's very random. Like the person doesn't even know how it actually happened. It's just one day they were driving down the road and they smelled and then they saw smoke coming from their car, and so what they did is they turned off the engine and then the smoke stopped, right? And then the same day they went to the Range Rover dealership, that way they could get, you know, the car checked up and like see what's wrong. And then the guys came back and told the girl that there was plastic in her exhaust, and that's why there was smoke coming from it. And then, you know, she left thinking that the problem was fixed, and then literally the next day, her car burns down. Like, the same problem happens, but then when she turned off the engine again, it burned down. So, like, the smoke didn't stop, so it just continued to burn down, and that's how the car burned out, basically. And she watched her own car burn down. So I feel really bad for her. I really do. And that's why I don't think that Range Rovers are actually a good luxury car. They're very unreliable. And I did mention that multiple times before. And like, that's known amongst the car community that Range Rovers are very pretty, obviously, but they're very extremely unreliable, which is horrible. But, you know, cars are like that sometimes. Apparently there's other cheap cars like Maseratis. I actually don't remember exactly. But there are cars that look nice, but are very cheap, actually. So, but I don't remember that one exactly. Kind of just, I know it's somewhere in my head. I just lost it for some time. So, yes, if it's a luxury car, then it would be a Bentley. And then now that we're talking about sports cars, because British brands there's lots of British car brands, and they all make cars. They all make different cars, I guess. So there's like supercar brands like McLaren and Lotus, back, yeah, that's like a car brand. So I would say that probably the best supercar brand from the people in the UK is most likely McLaren. As weird as it might sound, those cars are extremely nice. Although I have heard of issues with, like, I've heard of people having issues with those cars, like not one, but multiple. So apparently, McLarens tend to sometimes burn down as well. Like, what's up with British cars burning down? They're all so pretty, but they all burn down. So, like, I feel like knowing that my car could burn down, I would still kind of get a Range Rover. That's bad, but like, I know I would. It's like, you know that something's bad, but then you still get it. Like, I love that. But yeah, so, I don't know. McLarens are like, I guess there's not that, like, there isn't. Oh, Aston Martin. Oh my god, wait, that's a car brand as well. I kind of forgot about that one, not gonna lie. But yeah, I guess there's multiple car brands, but in my opinion, I really love McLaren cars. Although, yeah, they're not the most reliable. Again, I guess that's fine. You know, the looks sometimes justify the unreliability. Just sometimes. So yeah. Have you ever been to a concert? That's actually a good question, but I don't think I've been to small concerts, but not like a huge one. I don't know. It's just I never happened to be in one. I'm not the type of a kid who like likes to go outside a lot, so I just kind of stay inside most of the time. I don't know. I'm just that I'm just that type of a person. I don't know. So I've never been to a concert before, but I would definitely like to go to one. And I hope that once everything opens back up, I'll be able to go to one, you know? Fingers crossed that everything will open up soon. I'm like, quarantine has, I don't know, it's been weird for me. I've had ups and downs. I probably just like everyone. And okay, this is more like a would you rather type of a thing. So, do I like winter or summer houses more? You see, this is sort of a tricky question because you can talk about it a lot. Like, there's a lot of things and factors that you can talk about, and I will try to go over most of them, although I know I won't be able to remember all of them. But hey, I'll try my best. So, when it comes to winter houses, I usually think of, I don't know, a colonial house that's been decorated for Christmas, and like, you know, all the crazy winter decorations that you'd like see on a colonial house and like in American suburbs. Like, it's just always so pretty and so cozy and so cute. Like, I'm just getting so many vibes from like Christmas whenever I think of like a winter themed colonial house. Like, they're just so pretty, you know? And then like all the pretty landscaping at the front, like it just like there's so much character to colonial houses, and I love that. Even though they're just basically a box, there's always so much character to it with all the architectural details. And like you kind of start thinking of Home Alone, really. I'm sure most of you have seen the movie Home Alone. I hope you have, because it's like a really good movie. If you haven't, you're missing out. Let me tell you that. It's an awesome movie. Genuinely, like, an awesome movie, and I recommend you watch if you haven't already. But yeah, like, you guys just, that's what I think of when I see like like a winter house. Or I think of like I don't know, like either a lodge in somewhere like Colorado, like an actual like a lodge that's like kind of a mansion. So those are pretty cool, with like a pool at the back, or maybe like a hot tub. Or even a cabin in a lodge cabin, whatever. I was talking about Colorado. Now I'm gonna talk about somewhere else. So, or maybe like a lodge in Sweden or Norway, somewhere like Scandinavia. As many of you may know, since Scandinavia is like very far away up north, there's lots of snow every year. And that's very cool. They still get to have like a summer, but there's lots of snow every winter there. It's actually so pretty, and so like you'd naturally have lots of snow in the winter. It's like the coolest thing ever when you have like a lodge in Sweden or Norway, because you can like wake up, right, and then you see like lots of snow right in front of you, with like a snowy forest. Honestly, nothing's prettier than like a forest covered in snow. Like, it's just the prettiest thing ever. I don't know. I'm lucky enough to have, like, you know, seen that myself with my own eyes. And, like, I love the look of that. And then when you think of summer, you know, there's lots of other factors. Like, summer's, like, I don't know. Like, whenever I think of, like, a summer home, it would be, like, somewhere in the southern hemisphere. Like, South America, South Africa, even Thailand. Like, somewhere tropical, right? And honestly, from my own like eyes, from what I've seen myself, I love Brazilian architecture, like Brazilian architects in general. Like, they're just so brilliant. Everything they do is literally amazing. The work's awesome. It's just so beautiful. Genuinely so beautiful. Like, you can just look up Brazilian houses, modern Brazilian houses, and like they're so pretty. Like, I genuinely think that I might want to live in one in the future, because I have mentioned this before, that like I don't necessarily build a lot of modern houses, but I think my dream house would be a modern house. Like, not a modern farmhouse, but like an actual modern house. I don't mind like a modern farmhouse or anything. Actually, for some reason, like a lot of architectural styles, but I feel like my favorite one is definitely modern. Something that would be very tastefully decorated, probably like a bit of a minimalist space. I don't know, I like that. And so, yeah, whenever I think of summer, I think of like Brazilian. And actually, as weird as it may sound, there's actually so many pretty houses in Africa as well. I've seen lots of beautiful architecture in Africa, and I really love the houses there. I would personally love to live there as well. And I mean, there's like other type of like summer spaces like Tuscany and, you know, like Southern Europe. It's actually very pretty there as well, but I think that out of all the spots, I think I would live in like Brazil or something. So, I mean, I guess that like answers the question where I would want to live. I would probably live in like a summer-y environment. Is that even a word? Summer-y? Like, summer-ish environment. I would probably more than like a winter one, because like winter's good and all, but I think it would be more fun if summer you know, would stay for a while. Of course, stuff like this gets boring. Honestly, I really love places where you get to experience all 4 seasons. Like, there's snow in the winter, there's rain in spring, there's sun in the summer, and then there's, you know, leaves falling down and rain in fall. Like, I don't know, I just like experiencing all the seasons myself, but, you know, everyone has different tastes. But of course, now and then it's always fun to go on vacation in the middle of the winter to somewhere tropical where it's like summer. So that's always cool. Anywho, though, my phone just died. Wait, let me see if it's charged again. Nope, still charging. Why? Yeah, my phone kind of died, and so I was like trying to answer this question while it would charge, but it's not charging for some reason. So give me a few minutes, and then I'll charge my phone, and I'll be back. And I'm back. So we have like what, 5 more questions? So I'll try to answer them fairly quickly and answer like a few other ones, and I'll probably go since we have been talking, or I've been talking for 40 minutes. So you've been lost in listening to me for the same amount of time. So, okay, this is like another would you rather like type of a deal. Well, not really, it's just a choice. So, do I prefer books or movies? So, honestly, I think I said this in the last voiceover that I really don't like reading books. I don't know, I feel like that whole like hatred for books came from like a young age because I was forced to read books and stuff, and that's why I don't necessarily like to read them anymore. I've always liked watching movies though, so I guess that's partially why I prefer watching movies over reading books. But it's just, I don't know, I never enjoy reading books, and I don't know why I actually don't like reading books, but like I just know that I don't. So, and like I don't know, it just kind of makes sense. Because like I was kind of forced to read books at school and stuff. I don't know. I remember not enjoying having to read like lots of books. I don't know. Okay, another question. How long does it take to edit? So I've said this before as well, but it really depends on the video, obviously. So if it's part 2 or part 3 or part 4 of a speed build, it usually take me around 3 to 4 hours, or no, maybe 3 to 3.5, because I would need to rewatch the footage, edit the parts that I would like redo and stuff, and then later, what else? Oh yeah, and then later I would obviously record voiceovers, would usually take me around 1.5 hours, because I do sometimes mess up, and then I need to cut out the parts, I need to re-record some parts. It's a mess, but then and then lastly I just put in all the music, put in my intro and all that stuff, put in decal codes if I need to, and yeah, those are basically that's basically what I do with what the part 2s and part 3s. Then we have other type of videos, so we have the part 1s, which take around longer since of the tour, montages and so on. Then we have other tours which probably take me the longest, and those are the ones with voice, because I try to make the videos obviously funny, and I don't want to put out content that's not so like that's rushed or something. So I just try to do my best and give you guys the best content I can. And then we have the building hack videos, which the last time I did one, it took me way too long, like a few days, partially because I was procrastinating, but then at the same time it would have taken me around like 5 or 6 hours in a day if I were to work on it continuously. So obviously each video takes a different amount of time, but they all take quite a long time, but it's always worth it because you guys always tend to enjoy them, which makes me really happy. Okay, this is another like a choice question. So would I rather have a MacBook Pro or an iMac? Personally, I used to play on a MacBook Air before, and then I switched to an iMac, and now I'm recording this on an iMac, so I guess I would pick an iMac. Or actually, I don't know. It depends on what kind of a MacBook Pro, because sometimes MacBook Pros are good enough to handle Roblox. My MacBook Air was definitely not meant for Roblox or gaming, so I could not say anything, but yeah, like my iMac that I have right now runs Roblox perfectly fine. It's actually a really great computer. So yeah, I don't know, it really depends. Personally, I don't know, I don't mind having an iMac or a MacBook Pro. I think I would use both, but I do think that if you're planning like to edit or like make YouTube videos, it's better to have a desktop computer, and then if you need something for school, then you get the MacBook Pro. This is what I personally think. And the last question is, would you ever start up a Discord server again? So to those who don't know, I used to have a Discord server, but then I decided to just terminate it in general, since it kind of became Well, it wasn't so fun to talk it anymore, and it kind of became really inactive, so I just came to a conclusion that it's best to delete it. And so that's literally the whole backstory now. There is no Discord server, and people have still been asking me to send links up to it, but there is no Discord server anymore, so yeah. And would I ever? Probably, and honestly probably not. I don't know. It's a responsibility, and obviously, it takes me a while to even get out a YouTube video. So I feel like it would be a bit too much if I had to run the Discord server as well. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I need one, and plus I'm not that active in Discord servers anyway. So I feel like it would just be a waste of time for people to try to interact with me for me to, I don't know, barely do the same thing. Because even when you try, it's really hard to run a Discord server. It is really stressful as well, so yeah. But anywho, these are all Josh's questions. So thank you very much, Josh, for giving us the questions as always. A lifesaver. Let me quickly like these so you know that I answered them. Alright, and I found a few other questions by the Lazar as always. And these are probably going to be the last ones I'll answer. And I'll probably hop off for today. But yeah, so what do you think about the new update in Bloxburg? Well, if you're talking about the basic shapes update, I think I really liked it. This is the last one I kind of remember. Bloxburg, it's hard to keep up with Bloxburg updates because they like, an update gets added, you play with it for a few days and you kind of forget about it, not gonna lie. But the one that I do remember is the basic shapes one, and I really liked it. I think that now we can do so many things with the basic shapes. It's actually kind of insane when you really think about it, because like, you can build anything, literally anything. It's like, Bloxburg's becoming a drafting program, like a 3D modeling program. It's literally becoming that. That's kind of cool at the same time, but then it might get stressful for some other people. I don't know. I personally like it. I don't know about others. Some people complain that Bloxburg has just got into competitive, or it's too hard to build there, but you can honestly just build whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I think it's a great addition to the game that they added basic shapes now that we have like literally an ability to do anything. Alright, do you think Bloxburg will be free on version 1.0? So, there's a lot of speculation about this update. No one's really sure what's gonna happen, and neither am I, to be honest. I'm not cool at this. I don't really know what's gonna happen. But I know that I'm looking forward to the update. I know that it's probably gonna be a very good one. Probably one of the biggest one as well, but I am honestly not sure about the game becoming free. It might or may not. It depends on. I feel like it's gonna become free when when it's gonna be out of beta. I think it is out of beta already. But yeah, I have no clue when it's gonna go free. But honestly, it could be free and it could not be free. I'm not sure. I really don't know. What is one thing you hate about building? Sometimes, the worst part about building to me is like putting in backyard furniture and then furnishing the last 2 rooms in like a house that's very big. These are like the 2 things I hate about building the most, because you get so unmotivated and so burned out, you're just like, you don't want to do it, you know what I mean? I know that a lot of people can relate to me, and this has been happening for like ages now, to me at least. But I always kind of get through that stage and then it's fun. Again, it's very fun when you start a new build. What would you like to be added to Bloxburg before 1.0? So, I mean, honestly, we basically got pretty much everything. Maybe like more furniture, maybe more types of windows and stuff like that. Nothing else really. Oh, okay, wait, no. I would actually love some plumbing items, like functional sinks, showers. Well, maybe not showers, more like shower heads. Different sinks, like I've said, bathtubs. We need a lot of new bathtubs because the ones we have are kind of like, they're okay. Maybe some new decoration. I would really love that. Some new decoration, stuff like that. Like very tiny stuff, tiny furniture. Like not tiny furniture, just like furniture, plumbing items, appliances maybe. So yeah, nothing too simple. Nothing too hard. You see, that's what happens when I've been like talking for too long. So anywho, thanks to everyone who actually listened to me for this long. I feel like this voiceover turned out to be kind of fun, and I guess I'll try to make them like this from now on. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and I'm gonna go try to record another one. Let's hope I make it. But yeah, again, thanks so much for watching, and yeah, bye!
there something in my walk, how I talk, giving off the wrong energy? Was there something in my stride, too much pride, telling you to back down? Slowly, slowly you became my enemy, but you can't seem to get enough of me. So if this is the last time, I guess I better make it worthwhile. Yeah, if this is the last time, I guess I better give it my all. If this is it, if this is it, I know I better give it my all. So if this is the last time, I guess I better make it worthwhile. Yeah, if this is the last time, I guess I better give it my all. If this is it, if this is it, I know I better give it my all. You felt the feelings plenty of times. Still you fall away at the mention of mine. All of your reasons and all of your crimes never take away what you're trying to hide. Why can't you just listen? Shut up for a minute, we can make it right. Save it for another night. We're dancing in the kitchen, all the words still printing. You turn off the light, you turn off the light. All the words still printing. crash nearly every time. All of your reasons and all of your lies are just a phantom limb echoing what you're trying to find. Why can't you just listen? Shut up while I'm in here. Make it right. Save it for another night. We're dancing in the kitchen. All the words to Prince and you were to walk the light. You were to walk the light.
so much in between, things we've never seen. You're a mirage that my mind can't see through. Are you here with me? One day we can see. And all my life, unbroken ways, but I know that time makes ways. But I know that time makes ways. And all my life, unbroken ways, but I know that time makes ways. But I know that time makes ways. Yeah, I know that time makes ways. All my life, unbroken ways, but I know that time makes ways. But I know that time makes ways. And will my life be there one day? All I know is frozen waves, but I'm hoping time makes ways. I'm holding